Hello Aquarius, and welcome to Aligned Soul Tarot. I am Victoria, and it is with my greatest pleasure that I bring to you your May monthly reading. Like I state with all my readings, just because it is labeled May, this is intended for whenever you receive these messages. So whenever you feel pulled to click on any of my videos, please do so, and do it with an open heart. Allow yourself to process things, and let messages fall that don't serve you. You are your own sovereign being. You have the power of free will. So please, when listening to these general readings especially, keep an open mind, keep an open heart. And like I said, if you want to go a little deeper, since this is general, you can click on the description box below to get a private reading set up. And that way we can get a little deeper, maybe even clarify some of the messages that we get today for you, Aquarius. I hope that you are doing well. I know these are trying times for all of us. And as an Aquarius, you would know, you feel the collective, especially now with these planetary aspects. The universe is pushing us to come together, and that's on a personal level and on a global level, and it's internal and outward as well, so we're doing a lot of deep inner soul searching and reviewing some of our past, and especially when it comes around our finances and business. So let me give you a brief rundown of kind of what I'm setting on the table before I start your reading. I really want to explain to you how some of the planets are affecting us all, right? And then we're going to go in a little more personal for Aquarius. So we have Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter. Saturn and Pluto have been getting closer and closer and closer over the last couple of years, and they conjoined as of January 12th. Around that time, we witnessed a lot of global changes, right? Not the pandemic. That's one of the major things, right? But there's still a lot that goes on in a lot of people's personal lives. And like I said, we all have our own unique story. So with these two planets, you think of Saturn, right? Saturn is all about structure, society, discipline. Has a lot to do with finances. It's been in Capricorn, right? And guess what? Saturn just moved into Aquarius. So I was really, really intrigued about how this energy affects you. And really, for the brief moment right now, it's going to go back to Capricorn, but for now it's in Aquarius. So it allows us to feel into the collective. So we take that Saturn energy, which can be very practical. Its main sign that it falls into is Capricorn, right? So it was in Capricorn. So it's like finances, structures, stability, also karmic lessons, which is I like to really dive into with the readings, is what kind of karma is coming up for you, karmic cycles, relationships, family stuff, friendship, all of that, right? But now that it's in Aquarius, it's like we're really like refocusing. Okay, how as a collective can we move through this, right? As a group. And even though Aquarius is such an individualistic sign, they like their freedom, they like to feel liberated, but they do so in a way that is still helping others. A lot of Aquariuses really do like the idea of community, right? So with Saturn in this sign, it's really interesting because it's pushing us, it's elevating us to come together in some way when we have become, so socially distant, right? So I really think the universe always works with us. It's always working behind the scenes, whether we know it or not, right? Subconsciously, we are all universally connected, right? And these planets really are morphing the way that this all plays out here on Earth, right? In this 3D, 5D collective. So Saturn in your sign, you also have Mars in your sign, So I wanted to touch base on that. But before I talk about Mars, I wanted to talk about the other conjunction that's been really showing up. We have Jupiter and Pluto conjunction. So Saturn-Pluto conjunction, structures, discipline. You got Pluto, death, rebirth, this huge, massive like transformation, right? Pluto is a small planet, but it's a big energy. And then you got Jupiter and Pluto conjunction that just happened back in April. And it's going to be conjoining throughout the rest of the year and until like November 12th. And this only comes around every 13 years. So Pluto and Jupiter, it's all about death, rebirth, you know, transformation with Pluto. But then you have Jupiter, which is like this magnifying glass. And it exploits things. It's really into growth and expansion. So Jupiter is taking all of this, you know, old karmic stuff, you know, old ways of thinking, outdated models, whether that's business, finances, relationships, friendships, ideas, the way we think, you know, you name it, right? We are being asked to evolve from that, right? And we're going inward to figure out how to do that, right? On a personal level, so then we can all kind of regroup with Aquarius, right? Come back together and hopefully do this thing right. Do this thing better so it can function better as a whole. That's really the goal, right? Especially spiritually awakened people, our goal is to, you know, help elevate this world in some way. So we have those energies, right, with Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter. And if you ever want to go a little bit deeper into how that affects you, there's tons of information online for you. But then, like I said, you also have Mars in your sign, Aquarius. So, like I said, you have this independence to you, right? Freedom, liberation, and with Saturn being in your sign, it's really allowing you to see how you can redefine yourself too, right? And then with Mars, it's giving you this like push, because Mars is like Aries energy, so it's fiery and it's action oriented. It's like impulsive. It can be known as a planet that can also, you know, stir up some emotions, make you a little hot-headed. So I ask you, Aquarius, to allow yourself to process your emotions at this time, because you might be feeling some inner angst, you know, coming up as you are going inward, right? And you're reanalyzing how to show up in the world. Why Saturn's all about, you know, career too. I look at Saturn as a career planet, you know, discipline. How do I stay focused? So you have the energy there with Mars, so you have this ability to use that to your advantage, right? But you just have to be careful with your emotions, you know, and not letting your emotions get the best of you. All right, so with that being said, that's a little tidbit I got for you, Aquarius, on these planets, right? So Saturn and karma, right? That's the really big one, and I'm seeing it a lot in my readings. You know, we all are living out our karma, and it's not necessarily a negative thing. We are learning how to love. We're learning how to be better people through these karmic lessons that we're learning, right? And with Saturn really in the forefront, especially now in your sign, you're really feeling that, right? I bet a lot's coming up for you, Aquarius. But with it being in your sign, it really allows you to see things from a new perspective, a little easier, with a little more ease when it's in your sign, you know? All right. So I pre-shuffled on these cards. We're going to just pull a couple cards for you. We're going to clarify, and then we're going to pull from my Dreams of Gaia Oracle, just to kind of tie this beautiful reading together for you, Aquarius. All right, let's tap in. Calling into the ether for soul guidance for Aquarius. Let's connect to your highest potential in the immediacy of now. Calling on our guides to be with us, our ancestors, our angels, and all high vibrational beings that wish to guide Aquarius and I through this reading. All right. Also, check out your sun, moon, and rising and Venus signs if you want to dive a bit deeper into your chart. Also, if this reading doesn't resonate, I highly suggest you check out your sun, moon, your moon or rising Venus. And also for you, even Mars, because Mars is now in your sign, so it'd be interesting to see how that astro sign is affecting you. So whatever your Mars is in, watch that video. I'm getting an urge to tell you that. All right. Feels good for you, Aquarius. All right. Another thing for you, Aquarius, that I was getting is the 12th house is really impacting you right now. So that's all about like your subconscious, right? Your the realms, the 12th house is Pisces, so it's a lot of unknowns, you know, things that people don't necessarily see. It's very internal, right? The 12th house. So you're really going inward a lot right now. And with those planets in your sign, you're just restructuring maybe a career path, you know? Like a lot of us are having to do that, but I'm really feeling this emphasis for Aquarius right now. And because you are an air sign, you know, a lot of thoughts are going to come up. You know, is this the right path? Am I making the wrong decision? How is this going to affect others? That's really big for you, right? How is it going to balance out, right? Specifically, how does it affect others is big for Aquarius. Because like I said, with Saturn and Aquarius, it's all about, it's refocusing on the group. How can we all function together better, right? How can we evolve? So here we have the Six of Cups in reverse. So this is the bottom of the deck. And this is all about revisiting the past. Six of Cups is nostalgia. You know, this can represent a past relationship, a past friendship. Cups do represent a little bit more about emotions. As a reader, I see it more as, if I see a lot of cups in your reading, it's definitely more of a relationship, love, intimacy reading, right? And here I am starting off with the energies I'm seeing. I am seeing a little bit around relationship, but not necessarily. We'll see as we clarify. But underlying energy is you are revisiting something from your past. Like I said, it could be career-oriented, something that made you emotionally fulfilled, okay? So revisiting. Another thing for you, Aquarius, and all signs, is we are going to have 5 planets retrograde in May. So again, revisiting, reorganizing, relationships. You know, we might have some past come up, past relationships. That's definitely signifies past relationship. So be mindful of that, okay? Because sometimes we don't necessarily want to have to do that, but when things come up, especially past stuff, you know, it shows up for a reason. So maybe it's there to teach you a lesson. A lot of the times when past cycles, whether they're karmic or not, whenever they come up, it's just showing us, okay, what have you learned? How are you going to go about this? And you can actually see how you have grown when things show up that from your past that maybe you would have reacted differently in the past, and now you come from a higher standpoint where, you know, these energies don't affect you the same way, and it really allows you to see. It's like the universe is showing you, oh wow, you've learned the lesson, and it gives you a sense of like security in that, knowing like I've come this far, right? I am seeing here that, you know, you're getting over some past deceit, some hurt with this Seven of Swords. It's in reverse. This is Aquarius energy. So this tells me that you're letting go of some past deceit, some hurt, maybe around a past relationship. It being in reverse is a beautiful energy because, you know, Seven of Swords upright can be really sticky, you know. It's sneaky. It doesn't always have to be bad. It's just, you know, this can also represent like having to get yourself out of a bad situation, you know, and having to do it pretty quickly, sometimes hastily. And again, Aquarius, I keep wanting to reemphasize for you, it's important to think of the whole, right? You get the World card here. So how do my decisions and actions affect others? So maybe thinking about even just simply, it doesn't have to be a past relationship. It could be, how has my past choices, decisions affected me? You know, do I want to keep making these same choices that have, you know, led me down a path that I had to weasel my way out of eventually, you know, or feeling like I might be betraying someone or someone has betrayed me, you know, burning bridges. So trying to really make the right choice, right? You got the the Fool card here. It's in reverse. So not wanting to make foolish choices. I'm really seeing here you're wanting to stabilize, you're wanting to restructure and make sure that you have a firm foundation. And you're doing that by looking at your past. And like I said, people may show up from your past. And you might have to hash things out, right? Maybe some past lies and deceit that you had to escape from. You know, maybe there wasn't any closure. So maybe now it's time to have some closure. For some, maybe you don't need that closure. Maybe simply you find it within yourself, you know, but still it's a process of doing that within yourself. Even though you can't tangibly or physically get closure from something, whether that's career, relationship, family, whatever that is for you, right? You know what that is. Sometimes when we can't actually get that from something outside of us, right, an external force, we have to go through that process of having closure for ourselves within us, right? And this time, for a lot of the collective, we're having to do that, right? Because we have more time. Some of us do, you know. Some of us have all this time where a lot of emotions are coming up and we're having to really process that. And it's actually a beautiful gift to have that time to check in with ourselves, right? And like be able to say, okay, I finally closed the door, right? With this World card, it's all about closing out a chapter, a cycle in your life, karma, right? With the Saturn, you know, aspect, Pluto conjunction with Saturn. This is like one of the big cards that shows up for a lot of people. This and the Tower card, you know, all about like transformation with Pluto, right? Death, rebirth. And then we have Saturn, Jupiter. It's all about growth, expansion, new ways, new cycles, learning the karmic lessons, stepping off of the karmic wheel, right? Being enlightened, the World card. And for you specifically, it's like how you show up in the world. Because you got the Hierophant right next to it. So it's like, this is all about the spiritual master. This is earth energy, so you might be dealing with a Taurus. This is also a relationship card. This can symbolize like traditional marriage. This can be a step up in a relationship. So for some Aquariuses out there, remember this is general. It could be someone coming back from your past. You're letting go of past deceit, hurt, lies, and you guys are starting a new cycle. You know, maybe leveling up in a relationship. That could be one way of looking at this. Or it could just be simply, as I said before, personal growth, reassessing your past. What decisions have you made that have led you to making foolish decisions, you know, where you felt like, wow, I wasn't in my power. I wasn't living in my integrity. You know, I want to be in my Hierophant energy. I want to be that leader. You know, this is definitely Aquarius energy too. I'm feeling, even though it's, you know, traditionally Taurus, the Hierophant, because Aquariuses are really spiritual people, and just general, a lot of Aquariuses I know, they just have this way of thinking that's a little bit outside the box. They're very unique in that sense. So they're able to show people new ways of thinking, specifically around community, you know, nonprofit organizations. They're really good at teaching, you know, so maybe you find yourself in this kind of leadership role where you're teaching spirituality, specifically with the Hierophant. This signifies a lot around spirituality. And it doesn't have to necessarily be the traditional route, you know. This can be very like traditional, methodic energy, one way of seeing things. But for you, Aquarius, I think it's really important to, again, you're reassessing, right? You're reassessing some outdated systems that you had placed in your life, you know, structures, whether that be around money, finances, relationship. And there's some cycles here that are coming to a close with this World card. And with the World card also, just because something's ending, it doesn't necessarily it's not a bad thing. It's a great thing with the World card. You know, it's like there's a brand new cycle just waiting for you. You got the Fool card here. We're going to clarify these just to go a bit deeper for you, Aquarius. It's in reverse, so maybe there is some hesitancy, you know, one or the other, or just you. There's this, you know, I don't want to make the same mistakes again. That's really what I'm getting around that. I don't want to make the same mistakes again. I want to live in my power. I want to live a life of, you know, where I feel like I'm living, my moral compass is, you know, on track. My ethics, my values with the Hierophant. Okay, let's clarify the World card here for Aquarius. What does this World card mean for Aquarius? Aquarius. World card, please clarify. The Lovers. Yes, so, yeah, Ace of Wands on the bottom. So maybe this is a relationship reading, but I also do state with the Lovers card, yes, it can symbolize a union of some sort, right? Definitely can. But it also could simply be a choice, right? So when I clarify it with the World card, it's definitely pertaining to a decision, right? The Lovers is like a dual energy. So making a decision, being enlightened around this cycle, the World card. You know, things are coming full circle for you, maybe around a relationship with this Lovers card. I'm going to clarify. Sorry, let me close my window again because it is blowing in all of a sudden. The air is trying to get in here. There we go. Sorry about that. All right, and the Ace of Wands too. So this is like a passionate new beginning. So maybe, Aquarius, you got someone from the past creeping on in. And you have to reanalyze and reassess, okay, I don't want you to betray me again. I can't do the lies. I can't do the deception. I'm not going to make a foolish decision. I'm going to sit on this. I'm going to stay in my power. I'm going to set the standard here of what I need, what I want in this relationship, right? I want it to be stable. I want it to be secure. I want to make sure that we are showing up for each other, right? And maybe that's just signifying this understanding, right? Coming to closure. Okay, let's make this work. The Lover's card, coming together, union. But for you single Aquariuses, if you don't have anyone in your life, you know, this could simply be just everything that I said, but internally going through that, right? I don't want to go through this past hurt anymore. How can I come out of this deception, these foolish ways of thinking, these foolish people that, you know, I surrounded myself with, maybe this lower frequency energy, and I want to stay in my power, coming to this decision and having this sense of like union within yourself, you know, your shadow self, integrating that with your light self. You know, we have this polarity within us, and you know, certain relationships, especially karmic lessons we learn, kind of throw things off a bit, right? So then we have to like sit back, do the healing, right? Contemplation's big, processing's big. That's the thing. A lot of the time when we go through these karmic lessons, we don't actually take the time to sit with the emotions and process them and heal. So what ends up happening is the past comes back, or we just meet a brand new person with the same old energy, right? And then we end up in the same karmic lesson again because we really didn't allow ourselves to process what we learned, right? So that could be big for you. I am feeling more positive energy around this reading. I am not seeing like this return of the deceptive ex, or, you know, I am seeing like this establishment of like, okay, this won't happen again with this in reverse, the, you know, Seven of Swords. And it's like moving into this clarity. All right, let's clarify the Lover's card for Aquarius. Okay. Yeah, Devil in reverse. And you also have the Nine of Pentacles here. Three of Swords, yeah. Stepping out of your heartbreak. And Nine of Pentacles is all about like self-love, independence. This is really just sitting with yourself. That's like my healing card right there. Divine feminine energy. You know, living in abundance, creating abundance for yourself. It all starts within, right? We have to remember that, you know, all these external forces, they're here to support us in some way, but we can't rely on that for our happiness, right? So with the Nine of Pentacles, it's all about self-reliance, self-resilience. So when I see that with the Three of Swords, it's like stepping out of that Three of Swords, that heartbreak, that deception, right, from your past. Maybe even currently, you're still processing it, but you're releasing the devil. You're releasing all that toxic bondage that was maybe around you in your love life, you know, or even just in general, with ways of thinking, you know, codependence issues, addiction, but it's in reverse. So it's beautiful. It's like coming out of that and stepping into your integrity. Nine of Pentacles, Hierophant energy, Aquarius. It seems like you really have done some healing here. And our Nine of Pentacles can also represent like you did the healing work, or you're doing this healing work, and now you're really just stepping into your own power. You know, this can be my single ladies card or single man, you know, it doesn't have to be feminine energy, but it's showing up as feminine. So really just like showing up for yourself after this betrayal from your past. Take it however it resonates for you. There's many different storylines that come through. And again, this is a general reading, so if you want to go more personal after this reading, you know, maybe you're like, I have more questions, you know, please reach out to me. All of the information is in the description box below. So we're going to clarify this Hierophant for you. Let's see what this Hierophant's about for Aquarius. Aquarius, Hierophant, King of Cups. All right, so this is definitely seeming more like a relationship reading as I clarify. King of Cups, this is masculine energy. Doesn't have to be, it could be male or female. It's just someone showing up in their masculine energy. This is, you know, the King of Cups is very much about emotional, an emotional offer, and it's stable, it's grounded, especially with the Hierophant here. So emotional stability is what I'm getting. So someone, whether it's you or someone showing up in your life, that's able to offer their cup, and they want to give you a sense of structure. I want to be here for you. How can I support you? You know, this is a beautiful energy together. So maybe you are reassessing a relationship, and, you know, someone's emotionally available now, is what I'm getting with the Hierophant and King of Cups. There's a sense of emotional availability. And that could be you. Maybe you had to heal from some past heartbreak, and now you're like, now that I got my priorities in check, right? I'm living in my integrity. I have my moral compass aligned. You know, I've integrated my shadow and my light. I've done the work. Now I feel like I'm emotionally available. Or your emotions are in check, right? Like I said in the beginning, with the Mars and Aquarius, it's really easy for you to get angry, bitter, you know, because it's a big energy. Mars is fire, Aries. So, you know, when things seem to not be necessarily going the way you thought, trying to approach that from a place of unconditional love and forgiveness, right? So I see that with the King of Cups. It's like this emotional balance. King of Cups is very emotionally balanced, okay? It's beautiful energy. So then we got the Fool card here, Fool in reverse. Let's see what this is about for Aquarius. Fool in reverse. Okay, so we have the Eight of Pentacles here. So to me, it's looking like with the Eight of Pentacles, yeah, all the, whoa, here's your card on the bottom, the Star. It's in reverse, Star card. So all the work that I've done in the past, right? Eight of Pentacles, all about like all the hard work that you've done, choices you've made. Pentacles are all about the physical realm, so career specifically, making sure that the work you put in is fulfilling and gratifying to your future. You're setting up a foundation. You're putting in the work, right? And you're making sure that you're not making foolish decisions, right? Because you want your wish to be fulfilled. And maybe in the past, the efforts that you've made didn't lead you to your star, you know? So you're really, really making sure this time around, you're not letting your emotions get the best of you. You're keeping your emotions in check. You're stabilizing your emotions. You're coming into this independence with the Nine of Pentacles, and getting to your lovers. The lover's energy is really big, I'm seeing. I'm feeling that pull. You know, maybe this is what you're wanting, is that soulmate union. And you're really doing the work with the Eight of Pentacles here to make sure you can get there, and it's going to bring you into your future. You don't want to repeat the same old cycle again. All right, clarify this Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords. Aquarius. Seven of Swords. Two of Swords, yeah. So any sort of past deception, you know, that you left behind or you're still getting over, you're healing from, choices you've made, right? This is a choice card, Two of Swords, making a choice. This woman is blindfolded here, but her hands are free. So she can easily take this blindfold off. It's just, so it's really telling me sword energy is mental, right? Thoughts. So it's really about your perception of things. So making sure it's not clouded by your past or maybe some lies, deceit, hurt, trickery, manipulation, right? Allowing yourself to see clearly through that. Allowing yourself to let go. You know, Two of Swords is all about like not staying pent up in this emotional headspace, like not being clouded by your thoughts. You know, letting go of the past. I'm seeing here with the Six of Cups. You know, not being too jaded too. So if this new love offer is coming in for you, Aquarius, remember this is going to be unique for everyone. The advice for you is letting go of the toxic behaviors, the codependency, the heartbreak, the deceit. And if you are going to take this offer, if there is for you, Aquarius, someone coming back in, that's what you need to do in order for this union to happen. Both parties need to put in the work, need to let go of the emotional baggage from the past, make that choice, right? Really step into that choice completely and wholeheartedly to allow for this to grow, right? This cycle to grow and blossom and flourish. All right, let's pull from the Dreams of Gaia to kind of wrap this reading up for you, Aquarius. I already pre-shuffled these cards here for Aquarius. Let's tie this beautiful reading together for my dear Aquariuses. What do they need to know? What do they need to see? Queen of Water. So now we have a pair, right? Death and rebirth on the bottom of the deck. But it's in reverse, so allowing for this transformation to happen, right? Saturn, Pluto energy specifically. The death card has been showing up for almost all of my readings. We all have to allow this transformation to happen in order for us to really learn the lessons, to stop that karmic wheel, right, with the World card. It's showing up for you. It's like, okay, you've been through it. So what have you learned? What can you take into your future, right? You got the Queen of Water here. Emotional stability, right? Not allowing yourself to be bitter, resentful, manipulative, or manipulated, right? Stepping into your emotional stability, getting your emotions in check. You got the Queen and the King of Cups that showed up in your reading. So and the Lover's card. So I'm really feeling like there is this sense of a relationship coming in, and it's emotionally grounded and it feels really good, right? Cups is all about feelings, the depths, you know, going to the watery depths of in ourselves and in a relationship, and really getting to that gushy part of a relationship. That's beautiful energy. So I'm going to read a little bit more for you about this Queen of Water, just to see how this ties into the reading for Aquarius. Aquarius. Let's see. Queen of Cups. Beautiful how you the Lovers and the Queen and King of Cups. Okay. Loving, compassionate, empathetic, sensitive, vulnerable, right? Processing those emotions, allowing you to be vulnerable. The Queen of Water symbolizes a gentle, empathetic soul who possesses a keen sense of intuition. She is loving, compassionate, and always kind. Another thing that just popped up is Aquarius, the water barrier. So, you know, letting that flow, letting the energy flow out of you, you know, and forgiving. I'm really feeling like whatever it comes up, whether it is anger, bitterness, resentful, any sort of deceit, you know, processing it and allowing it to come out of you and not letting it be bottled up, anything from your past. You don't want it to bottle up that emotional flow within you, because then that just allows for stagnation, you know. She is naturally in tune with her emotions and the emotions of those around her. She's empathetic, she's intuitive, so stepping into your intuition. So coming up with the perfect solutions around you, particularly in matters of the heart. So with that Hierophant energy, I'm really seeing that practicality, right? Staying grounded in your emotions. What beautiful energy for you, Aquarius. So a big focus on your emotions, right? Keeping your emotions in check. You know, using the power of Mars to propel you, right? but not doing it in an impulsive way, right? Not making foolish decisions, right? Make sure that you stay grounded, stay emotionally grounded during this time, okay, Aquarius? That's what I got for you. Sending you so much love. Be blessed.